Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Just doing a quick update video on the truck. I haven't done one for a little while. I'm a little bit behind on that. Please excuse the sunglasses, but I'm struggling with that. My eyes just can't handle this stuff. But where I'm at with the truck, I've been doing a bit on the coupe. I've just done a video on the coupe, where I'm at with that, what's going on with the engineering process on that. I have been working on this thing. It's Easter long weekend and I ran out of gas for my welder, so I kind of stuffed up. But we'll spin this around and we'll have a look at what's going on. Last break, I think it was, I picked this up from Adelaide Motorsport Fabrication. Quickly play a little bit on that so you can see how that came about. Just been down to, as I pretty much do every time I come home, just been down to Adelaide Motorsport Fabrication. Picked myself up this fella. So it's a Curry sensor section and some thick wall 3-inch tubes. Andy from AdmoFab supplied those for me, got those in for me and welded it up while I was at work. And also while I was away, I ordered some airbag brackets and for both the chassis and the diff from Air Ride Supplies. I'll put a link here somewhere. Or some details. The other guys I got my so it's Air Ride Supplies in Victoria. They supplied my Airlift 3H kit, my bags, these brackets, and they'll be who I'm getting my Shockwave struts for the front of the truck through. Very quick service, very affordable, very good to deal with. So I'm going to get on with that. Okay, it's the day after picking up the diff from AdmoFab. I sat it in the truck last night just to get a bit of a look at what's going on, and straight into the first hurdle. Not a big one, makes it interesting, bit of work to do, but we'll just have a look. So this Curry sensor section, it's exactly the same as the housing in the coupe. Well, strange engineering in the coupe, but this one's a Curry, but it's the same dimensions, everything's the same. What I didn't take into account is the sheer size of the center of these things. Not a huge problem. It's diffs being built strong to suit if we add a lot more horsepower later, so if the coupe engine ends up in this truck. But what that means is these brackets I got from Air Rides, these are just the generic bag over axle brackets that sit on the tubes. What that means is where they need to be, there's housing in the way. So I spent a bit of time redoing the brackets on the top of the diff on this thing. Again, I wanted to keep the bags on top of the axle pretty much for load rating, because I want to tow that occasionally. I shouldn't do that too quickly. And it gives me room for a fuel tank or whatever spare wheel, maybe other bits and pieces. But I have I've used again from Air Ride Suspension Supplies, their universal top mounts, chassis mounts for airbags. So these plates here are they were a whole lot bigger. I'll just put a picture in here somewhere. They were a lot larger. I've trimmed them down to notch around the diff housing. Diff housing required a bit of thinking outside of the box, I suppose you could say, with these. So we'll have a look. These are unfinished, so don't be too harsh, please. I've got inlay pieces to fill in through here on both sides of that. I need access to get through to the bolts underneath, the bottom airbag bolts, so I can't completely enclose that. And there will be webbing through here as well. I can't put as I may have mentioned earlier, I can't put the airbags on the outside of the chassis purely due to the size of the wheels. More on those coming up. And these brackets here will be pretty much 10 to 20 mil below the edge of this. They won't sit this far down, and that'll allow for that diff to come right up. How I've got it set up here is half of airbag travel, so I haven't got it at right height. I've set it up at half of the airbag travel. If you've read Max Fisher's book on air suspension, that explains why we do that. I won't go into that here, maybe on a later one when I get more into this sort of stuff. Air ride suspension supplies bracket there, and the wing bracket there. They're in the right place, they're tacked in. I've got that tube there just as a dummy, so I can work out bracketry distances. This is a fish plate, for those that don't know. These holes are for plug welds. I'll weld around the perimeter of that, plug weld this plate to the chassis so it's welded everywhere, and that spreads the weight, the load over this, so there's a lot of rotational load pushing forward. So when the diff rotates, that point moves forward and it pushes on this, so instead of having this straight to the chassis rail, and it won't tear, but this is just a load spreader. And the added benefit of that is the join for the chassis goes through here on the outside, so factory rail, new rail, there's a diagonal cut through there. On the inside, that rail goes all the way through to there with no cuts, but on the outside there's a cut here. That's just, there's a fish plate inside, a lot bigger than this, from here to back here somewhere. So that's sufficient, but this is just an extra stitching on the outside to join everything together. So bottom brackets are done. I haven't completely welded that in because the engineer wants to check everything before I do final welding. So hopefully next break I can get him around to check that out. Same with all this stuff. And once I sort myself out and actually get gas for my welder, and the engineer's double checked everything here, is happy with what I'm doing, I can get into that. The next job is, once those bag positions finalized, I can work out my top bar mounts for the triangulated four-link, so I can work out clearances around bags, that sort of thing. But relatively straightforward anyway. That cross member there is still temporary. I can pull that out now. That's just making sure everything stays in the right place. Moving around to the front of this thing. A bit of work on the front suspension. Now this is all dummied up for now. That's the car guy's front end. So the control arms and the stub axle are all AU3 through to BF Falcon factory parts. I haven't painted this because I've got new ones in the shed which I don't want to put on just yet. And this is a RideTech Shockwave airbag strut. There's a gap there at the moment because there's no air in the bags. In my little time lapse you'll see me lifting that up into place. But this is adjustable. This top mount here is adjustable. So yeah, when I take this off the frame off the table, then I'll worry about final setting up. I do need to have some bushes made for up inside here and down the bottom, just to space it in the right place. The RideTech stuff is obviously universal fit, so it comes with some bushes, but you have to modify them a bit. But yeah, instead of the coilovers that most people use with these, I've gone with the RideTech airbags, so we can get this thing sitting on its ass. I won't talk about what's under the sheet for now. Everyone knows, but we'll just leave that for a later discussion. And a bit of a we'll just leave that for later. We don't need to worry about that just yet. So I'll leave this one here. I'll cut this one relatively short. Just a real quick update on where I'm at and why I haven't got anywhere. That thing over there behind me is also getting stuff done to it. So if you're only here for the truck videos, maybe check one or two out, and the last one or two out in the coupe, and you'll see what's going on there. Another big one for this, I do have some wheels. My wheels have arrived from America. They're sitting in the shed beside the coupe, all covered up. We don't need to see those just yet. I have put them on the truck. I had tyres fitted. I put them on the truck so I could do measuring for the diff housing, make sure that's all cool, and I've dropped the tub on, and I've taken a whole lot of photos of those wheels on this truck, and very, very happy with those. But yeah, I might just leave those until pretty much I've got to have some work done to them, finishing wise, and I think I'll leave it till that's done. I need to talk to Aaron at 3R Technic about those, see when he can fit me in, and maybe on the next video, the one after, maybe I might chuck them on the truck and we can have a look. I'm kind of kidding myself. If you follow me on Instagram, I'll probably cave and post some photos up, so I just can't help myself. But anyway, that's where I am with the truck. Front suspension's mocked up, back end's got brackets, I'm working on it. Next time I'll smash out some proper work on this and try and do something interesting. But thanks again for watching, thanks for subscribing everyone that has, and I will see you all on the next one. Cheers.